It was the first day of the semester. I was still hauling my suitcases into the dorm when Trinity Ward suddenly grabbed my hand. Her face was flushed, her eyes shimmering with a mix of nerves and a strange, triumphant heat. "Quinn," she whispered, her voice carrying just enough to reach our other roommates. "Starting today, I'm going to be your stepmother. Don't worry, they'll take good care of you." I froze. The iced latte in my hand slipped, hitting the linoleum with a sickening thud. Plastic cracked, and brown liquid splattered across my white sneakers. "Stepmother?" I repeated, the word tasting like ash. "Trinity, you've got the wrong person." I forced a dry laugh and tried to wrench my hand back. "You can't just go around saying things like that. My father is." Seeing my disbelief, she didn't hesitate. She whipped out her phone and began swiping through a gallery of photos. My heart did a slow, painful roll. There he was, my father, Richard Beaumont. In every photo, Trinity was decked up by him, their poses intimate enough to make my skin crawl. Finally, she pulled a folded slip of paper from her designer bag and thrust it under my nose. "Trinity Ward, 22nd, 4 months pregnant. Fetal vitals normal." She rested a hand on her still flat stomach, a beatific, sickeningly sweet smile spreading across her lips. "Your dad said as soon as you were settled in for the semester, we'd go down to the courthouse and make it official." I stared at the ultrasound report, and suddenly, I felt a laugh bubbling up in my chest. Poor Trinity. She had done her homework on the Beaumont family fortune, but she'd missed one very private, very permanent detail. My father had a vasectomy 20 years ago. My first instinct was that this was some twisted hazing ritual. I patted her shoulder, still grinning. Okay, you got me. Truth or dare? You're a great actress, Trinity." For a second there, I actually thought you were serious. Trinity cut me off, her expression shifting instantly to one of wounded innocence. "I'm not lying to you, Quinn. I know who your father is. I know HES, the CEO of Beaumont International. I know I'm just a student and people will say I'm not good enough for him." She took a shaky breath. "But your mother has been gone for so long, and what he and I have is real. Please, just give us your blessing." A chill settled over me. This wasn't a joke. My father, Richard Beaumont, was the city's most eligible bachelor. The line of women trying to climb into his life stretched out the door of his penthouse and around the block. But in all these years, not one had ever made it past the velvet ropes. It wasn't that they weren't beautiful enough. It was because my father's garden had been salted and burned long ago. When my mother almost died giving birth to my brother and me, the terror changed him. He couldn't lose her again. The day we were born was the day he scheduled his vasectomy. And now, this girl was telling me HED managed to conjure a miracle baby in his 50s? The absurdity of it was staggering. Without another word, I pulled out my phone to call him. I wanted to hear the confusion in his voice. I wanted him to shut this down, but before the call could connect, Madison Miller, our third roommate, lunged forward and snatched the phone out of my hand. "Stop it, Quinn. You can't just call him like that." "HES, my father." "Madison, give it back." "Mr. Beaumont is a busy man," Madison argued, her voice frantic. "If you call him and start accusing him of things, think of how embarrassed he'll be. Besides, Trinity is sensitive right now. Think of the baby. Can't we just talk this out as adults without making a scene?" I opened my mouth to explain that it was biologically impossible for Trinity to be carrying a Beaumont heir, but Trinity cut in, her voice dissolving into soft sobs. "Quinn, please don't call Richard." Her eyes were red-rimmed, a masterclass in performative grief. "I don't want to cause trouble between you two. I know you're angry, but this is real. I'm carrying his child. It'll be better to you than a real mother ever could." She choked out. "I'm begging you. Just give me a chance." I was caught between fury and exhaustion. I tried to keep my voice level. "Trinity, we're theater majors. Our reputations are everything. You're young. Don't let someone brainwash you into this. This baby, it isn't his. If you go through with this lie, how are you going to live with yourself?" I thought I was being helpful, but it clearly touched a nerve. Trinity shoved my hand away, clutching her stomach as she wailed. "You just don't want us to be together. Fine. They'll go to the clinic tomorrow. They'll get rid of the baby. Is that what you want? Are you happy now?"